Everything I've tried to do, everything I've tried to be is done because I made a mistake. I didn't really even lose my cool. I just tried to move you away. I just didn't want you to hurt yourself.
Sorry.
This is Trisha Todd and Stephen Williams with their 3-year-old daughter, Faith. Trisha and Stephen served together in the United States Air Force during their 11-year marriage. Although their marriage eventually ended in divorce, they remained on good terms, having known each other since childhood. Stephen was given open access to visit their daughter whenever he wished. After the divorce, Trisha relocated to Florida with Faith, securing a job at a hospital while pursuing her nursing studies. Stephen, meanwhile, stayed in the Air Force and was stationed in North Carolina, making regular trips to visit his daughter.
And I've been involved with this case from the beginning, okay? And I've seen everything that we have. I've seen all the interviews. And at this point, I know we've come in and we talked to you over and over and over again. We've talked to you in Raleigh, we've talked to you here. And we've always talked about the past. What happened that night, what happened that night, what happened that night. What I want to do is I want to kind of talk to you about the future, where we're going from here, okay? Now, you've already heard about all the stuff that we got. I mean, there's no question about what happened that night.
On April 26, 2016, Stephen drove from his home in North Carolina to Florida and rented a hotel room to spend time with his daughter, Faith. That evening, Trisha dropped Faith off with Stephen before returning home. The next day, Trisha was scheduled to pick up her daughter and head to work, but she never showed up.
We know that it's more than you're telling us. We know that you were involved with her death. We know that, okay? So the question is not what happened or anything like that. What we need to understand is going forward, okay, there's going to be a trial, okay? There's going to be press. There's going to be everybody looking at this. You've seen how these things, they get huge. The media gets involved, and everybody's going to have an opinion about what happened. And everybody's going to have an opinion about you and your relationship and what kind of person you are, okay? And the thing that we're trying to do is, I talked to you earlier. You're a nice guy. I like you. I mean, I think we could be friends, in different circumstances. But here's the thing. There's going to be two narratives going forward, okay? And what I want to do is try to give you the opportunity to kind of tell me more about what narrative actually happened.
Trisha's family went to her home, concerned that she might have overslept or had an accident. The first thing they noticed was that her car wasn't in its usual spot. Instead, it was parked across the street. Inside the car, they found her purse. When they entered the house, they saw lights left on and groceries sitting out on the kitchen counter. Alarmed, they reported Trisha missing, prompting the police to begin their search.
Okay. So what we're looking at is, there's the one option, okay? And that's the option that you were kind of getting earlier when Tom was in here, which is, you planned this? You came down here with the intent purpose to hurt Trisha? That you planned to ditch her car here in some calculated way, and you planned to go put her in a certain place that nobody could find her and all that kind of stuff? And that sounds pretty bad, right? I mean, you wouldn't agree with that, okay? Now, the other alternative is that, and like I said, we know what happened. We know that, that something beyond what you were telling us happened in the house. But I think the more likely story is having seen, trust me, I've been here. You haven't seen me before involved in this, but I've seen you, okay? I've done a lot of research in your background. And I know what it was like with Trisha. I know what kind of stuff you went through. I know she had a wild streak when she was younger. I know what she did. And she came after you, in that domestic thing that happened before. I know how that started, okay? We've seen the reports. We know how it all happened. We know she went back and said, no, the whole thing was made up because she started it, okay? What I think is to me, having known you, having known the background of everything between you and her, everybody's going to have their own opinion. But I can see that. I think probably what happened was something more like she started something that night.
Stephen stated that Trisha had dropped off Faith with him but never returned. The next morning, He speculated that his ex-wife might have gone for a walk to connect with God, something he claimed she often did alone. Investigating this possibility, the police learned that Trisha did, in fact, take long solitary walks on the beach. However, after searching the area and questioning locals who frequented the beach, they found no lead.
Okay. And, having known what her background was, having known how she treats you, okay, I've seen text messages. I've seen what she says to you, okay? I know what kind of stuff she's always bitching at you about stuff. I get that. I see that, okay? So I could see how that would kind of go that direction that night, all right? So what I want to do is try to set the stage so that you can actually tell the narrative about what actually happened, which is not that you planned all this, okay? Not that you planned down here to come down here and kill her and send her out into the woods like some sort of mass murderer. I mean, really? I mean, that seems kind of ridiculous, okay? It seems far-fetched, like you said, okay? And I don't think you planned all this. I don't think you're capable of that, okay? I think what happens is sometimes things just get out of hand.
With no other leads, the police turned their attention to Trisha's personal belongings, including her diary and cell phone. Her diary contained details even her family was unaware of, painting a very different picture of Stephen. It revealed that the divorce had not been as amicable as it seemed and that Stephen wasn't the man everyone believed him to be. Trisha wrote about enduring both physical and emotional abuse. The diary described a man prone to violent outbursts, who not only directed his aggression towards her, but also towards her two small dogs.
Okay, you'd agree with that? Sometimes, people start doing something and they cause something to happen, okay? And I'm not saying you wanted this to happen, all right? But I know you were there when it happened, okay? What we want to understand is what actually happened that night, okay? And I know you were there, and I don't believe it was your fault, okay? So what I imagine something to be, is maybe you guys got in an argument. Maybe it was over the computer, maybe it was over the gas, maybe it was over whatever, okay? Any little nitpicky thing that she's going to get on you about, which she always did. I get that, okay? And things got heated, okay? You're down here to try to see your daughter, okay? You're a good dad. You're trying to be down here to spend time with somebody that you care about, your daughter. And Trisha's here again, and unfortunately, Faith wants to see Trisha, and Faith is calling for Trisha. I'm sure that doesn't make you feel that good. She's trying to spend time with your daughter, okay?
It's okay.
But it's, and Trisha came over, but then things started getting kind of ugly, okay? And I'm sure she started it. And you didn't want to get involved in that, okay? But if she starts pushing things, she's not going to back up. She's unrelenting, okay? I've seen this, okay? I've seen the history. I've seen the background of how this works, okay? So
the police reviewed surveillance footage from the area between Trisha's home and the hotel where Stephen was staying. The footage revealed Stephen driving both his own car and Trisha's car that same night. Additional footage placed Stephen near Trisha's home as well. With this evidence, the police finally had enough to arrest him and bring him in for questioning.
What I could see happening is maybe she came at you and, just defending yourself, she falls. Maybe you didn't realize how hard you pushed her out of the way, but you're just trying to defend yourself. You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying that you tried to hurt her, but I'm saying that it's clear that something happened there, and that resulted in Trisha getting injured to the point where she was deceased. Okay? And then beyond that, I can see, putting myself in your shoes for a minute. Okay? I see that you're a hard worker. Okay? You've rose through the ranks. You're in the Air Force. You've been there, 11, 12 years, you said? Mm-hmm. That's a long time. That's a career. You devoted your life to that career, to this country. Okay? You got your daughter to think about. Okay? Something happened. It's Trisha's own fault. Now she's gone. There's nothing you can do about that.
Initially, Stephen denied any knowledge of what had happened to Trisha. However, he eventually confessed to finding her dead and, out of fear, claimed to have disposed of her body. While the detective now knew that Trisha was dead and that Stephen had handled her body, they still needed him to admit to the crime itself.
And so your first plan, I mean, you told us that your plan was that you were just going to take her back to the house and you were going to leave her there, which I understand, because she's going to be back by her house and people are going to find her, and then maybe they'll look other places, you know what I mean? And I understand that. Okay, and that's what you told us. That was kind of your first thought. So now we're going to go back to the house. Okay, and of course, Trisha, being the way she is, there's no gas in the car. Typical Trisha. And I mean, come on. I mean, how hard is it to go fill up a gas tank? I mean, really? It's not that hard. It's not that hard. You got to think ahead about this type of stuff. I never let my gas tank go below a quarter of a tank. That's me, but I pay attention to that stuff. My wife, she'll run that gas tank out all the time. And then next thing you know, I got to go out in the middle of the night because I got to run and get groceries or something. Now I'm also getting gas because she didn't think ahead about it. Okay, slightly. And the only thing that I can do at this point, and like I said, I think you're a good guy. I've talked to you. You're a nice guy. Okay, I don't think that you were a cold-blooded killer who came down here with the explicit intention to murder her. Okay, I don't think that's the case. Okay, but right now I can't say otherwise. I can't say that there was an accident because you're not telling us something other than that. Okay, we have all this evidence.
The detective tells Stephen they have all the evidence they need but are offering him a chance to explain what happened, so he doesn't appear as a monster. This is a common tactic used by interrogators, aimed at convincing the suspect that the evidence is overwhelming and that the best option is to be honest and show remorse to help their case.
Yeah, you do. Okay, and I know that you were in the house. Like I said, I can prove.
But I didn't do anything to her.
And that you're not hearing me. Okay, you're not hearing me. Okay, I'm not saying that you did anything to her on purpose. I'm not saying that you hurt her. I'm not saying that you laid hands on her. Okay, but I do know that you know what happened to her. A jury could completely understand this.
I did. I didn't know what to do. I don't plan these
So explain
things.
to me.
I don't know what you do in these situations.
And I know you didn't plan this. And that's exactly what I'm saying. That's why I'm trying to give you the opportunity to explain to us how it happened, because it was not planned. You did not attack her. You did not try to kill her or try to come down here to kill her.
Never.
But things happen. And we need to understand what it was that happened in that house. You're not a serial killer, that you're some psychopath who has no remorse over killing the mother of your child. But you know that's what's going to be in the paper. You know that's what's going to
change that. Unfortunately,
you can. You can change that. You can change that right now.
No,
yes, you can.
Yes, I can't tell you anything other than what I've told you.
No, you can tell me the truth.
And that's the problem. And nothing makes it better. Nothing I say makes this better.
It will.
And it doesn't matter.
Because there's a huge difference between we got an argument, it got physical, she started it, she got hurt.
And that's not any better. That's no better.
No, tell me.
The same scenario.
That is miles better.
The detective talks continuously for nearly 30 minutes, carefully explaining the situation to Stephen without giving him a chance to pause. The goal is to prevent Stephen from having the time to come up with another lie or alternative story. By keeping Stephen focused on his words, the detective makes it hard for him to both listen and simultaneously think of a way out of his problem.
Tell us what actually happened in the house.
Because I sit here and tell you that she attacked me, that's just another different story that you're just going to be like, well, that's 5 different stories he's telling now. And that doesn't help either. So what do you want me to tell you? What do you want me to tell you, Dave?
I want you to tell me the truth.
Because I'm telling you, I didn't hurt this woman.
Okay.
I never did anything to injure her or hurt her. My only mistake is I didn't just accept that this is the situation and call 911. That's what I should have done.
Did she attack you?
I didn't take her to the hospital. I should have just did that. Instead, I just panicked and I just tried to get away from it all. Is what I wanted. I just wanted nothing to do with all that.
But you panicked.
That's not me. I just panicked.
You panicked because of what happened, because you thought it would come back on you.
Because it did. It does. Like in the past, even I didn't do anything to her, but just because of how it looked.
But here's the thing: people fall down all the time. People get hurt. Okay, it's not uncommon. Okay, and we can find that out. That's not something that's difficult to determine. Okay, there's people that go to a lot of school and they get paid a lot of money to figure out exactly what happened to somebody. Okay, and I know you don't believe that, and I know you were panicking. I get that, but I know that what you're telling us about coming back from the gas station, I know that's a lie. I know that's a lie, and I can prove that's a lie. And I don't want that to be the last lie that you tell us. I need you to tell us
I can't tell
the
you
truth.
anything else because I don't know anything else to tell you.
You do, and I know you do.
Else, it's another story, and no matter what I tell you, it's not going to be the truth according to you. So what do you want me to tell you then?
Here's the thing about the stories, okay? Every time you tell us some version of what happened, it gets closer to the truth. And I appreciate that, because
so then I say, oh yeah, she attacked me, and you come back in here like, okay, so you attacked her. Like, no, that's not what I said. So then you're just going to have me going down this rabbit hole of different stories now. I don't want that either.
Like I told you, okay, I can prove one thing, okay? I can prove that you were at the house with Trisha when she was injured. I can prove that. So the question lies with you as to, you're the only one who was there with her. Like I said, you're the only person who can tell us what happened. So this is your opportunity to tell us what happened in the house.
The detective employs a simple yet effective tactic, suggesting to Stephen that he doesn't believe the crime was intentional, but rather an accident. By presenting this scenario, the detective offers Stephen a way to confess by claiming that Trisha's death was unintentional and that Stephen panicked, fearing the police would think he was guilty. This fear, the detective implies, led Stephen to hide the body. The strategy is designed to make Stephen believe he will face a lesser punishment if he admits it was an accident, encouraging him to confess to the crime.
But if you stick with that story and I can prove that it's a lie, everyone's going to assume the worst.
They assume the worst. If I sit here and say, yeah, we argued, she attacked me, then they're just going to assume, okay, you being the bigger, stronger person, you hit her, or you did something to her, or you in some way hurt her, and that I never, ever would do that.
I'm not asking you to make up a story.
Murder bag. I didn't come down here with some dubious plan scheme. I didn't.
Exactly.
I'm not that kind of person.
And that's what I'm saying, is that you're not that type of person. But by continuing to lie to us about what happened and when it happened, you're opening that door for everyone to assume it, and you know everyone's going to assume it. But I can prove that's not true. That's not how I want to end this report, because everybody wants to know what happened to Trisha. If Trisha had an accident, if Trisha came at you when she fell.
She clearly had an accident, because I didn't do anything to her. I'm telling you I didn't do it.
So what happened?
I never hurt her. I didn't push her. I didn't shove her. I didn't do anything to that woman.
So what happened?
I didn't do anything.
I'm not saying you did anything. I'm asking, that's not the question I'm asking. The question is, what happened? Because, like I said, I know you were in the house when it happened. I know you were there. I can prove that you were there. And if you don't tell me the truth about what happened now, you're going to not don't worry about the media. Don't worry about what your friends and family are going to think. Don't worry about all this stuff.
Really not.
You're going to have a jury.
That's my
deciding your fate.
I feel like no matter what I tell you, it's not going to make a difference with them.
It's going to make a huge difference.
I tell you another story of we had an argument and fought, then they're going to be like, well, what happened to the other 2-3 stories he told? Why wasn't this the story?
Because you were scared. And I understand you're scared.
Now, I was scared then, I'm scared now.
You've been scared throughout this entire thing. Your actions look like somebody who's planned this and look like somebody who came down here to murder you. But I can see they're actually the actions of someone who was scared. But you need to explain to them that you didn't just come home and you saw that she fell down and you got scared. That doesn't make sense to a jury. They're not going to buy this. They're not going to believe you. And
they're not going to buy anything.
They're going to believe the truth. They're going to believe the truth.
All of it from the get-go was just unbelievable to me. All of it from the get-go was one of those, like, I'm living a nightmare. I'm living some shitty Lifetime movie special is what I'm living, and it's bullshit, because I would never hurt that woman. I would never...
So tell us what actually happened in the house.
The detective tries one final tactic, telling Stephen he's a good person and acknowledging that his ex-wife could be difficult to deal with. By sympathizing with Stephen, the detective aims to make him feel that what happened was provoked by Trisha and that the jury will understand the situation. Stephen, wanting to confess, hesitates out of fear of the consequences. He admits that if he changes his story again, no one will believe him since it would be the third version. Sensing Stephen's uncertainty, the detective reassures him, saying people would understand he lied out of fear. Stephen is now on the verge of confessing, needing just one last push in the right direction.
She was trying you. You wanted to talk to your daughter. You wanted to be there for you, because you don't want to just abandon your child.
No,
you don't want her to not have a father. You're doing a good job.
As best as I could.
And so,
I know, like, because of the military and her living in Florida, I can't always be there, but yeah, I'll try to be there as much as I can.
And that's why that night, you gave in and you said yes. I know, I have a daughter. Daughters always get what they want, no matter what. They always get what they want, no matter if you don't want it or not. She wanted mommy, she's getting mommy. Yeah. Even though you didn't want that. So, I know that your plan was not, how ridiculous is that? You planned to have a sick child? You planned to have your child call for the mother in the middle of the night?
Planned to take a stupid trip to the hospital.
People are going to believe that if you let them. They're going to believe.
How do you plan that? How do you plan for your child to be sick in the middle of the night?
So I know you think that the truth is going to sound worse, but you know it's not. You know it's not going to sound worse. You know it can't be worse than this narrative that people are creating about you.
It's only
that people are already saying
everything else already. I've already told too many different freaking versions.
You told versions because you panicked. You were scared. People can understand that. People can understand that. But at a certain point, you have to realize, because you're afraid that you're going to get
prison for
caught, you're going to get blamed, you're going to get in trouble. But I can tell you right now, we're there. We're there.
My life.
Okay? You're here with us, not because of what happened. And we need to understand the truth about what happened. Because I know you're scared. I know you're scared about what's going to happen in the future. But before you were panicking because you didn't want anybody to know you were involved. You didn't want anybody to know you were there. You wanted it to go away. That is a normal human response. That's what anybody would do in that situation. That you're panicking. You're panicking. It's a reasonable thought process that people can understand. But what we can't get past is you continuing to lie about what happened. And I can't let you continue to lie about what happened. I need you to tell me the truth about what happened. I know you were there. I want to give you the opportunity to tell me what happened.
The interrogator's strategy finally pays off, and Stephen is ready to confess. For the first time since the conversation began, the detective falls silent and listens as Stephen shares a new version of the story. He begins to detail the events that unfolded on the night of the crime, revealing the truth bit by bit.
So yeah, she came over and she was with Faith, and then she just started talking about nonsense and bringing up child support and just more stupid stuff that I just, for the most part, tried to ignore. And then, yeah, there was a mix-up with the check, but that's not my fault because you told me this was your address. So yeah, that's where I mailed it to. And then she's telling me that's not the mailing address. It's just what I'm like, that's not my fault. If you told me you moved, I did the responsible thing, and I made sure the check was going to go wherever you moved to if you're not at your mom's house. And then she's just going on and on about now I owe her more money and back child support and I'm just sitting here like, then I'll fix it. I'll send you another. I'll do something, but I don't have the money now. So just give me some time, like, because that money, since you didn't get it on time, is already spent. I spent it to come here, and now I need a little more time to get it to you. And now she's talking about how she's going to go to court and all this other stuff, and it's my fault. And I'm just like, this isn't even my fault. Like, you told me you moved, so I adjusted it. Like, just calm down. Like, this isn't even that serious. This is an easily rectifiable, why are you getting all out of hand about this, you know?
Right.
And yeah, I know I didn't go through the court to pay child support, but every time I tried, it was just, she just stonewalled me. It's like, I don't want to do that because I haven't paid money to send you money, which is stupid. I was like, just let me have your account information, just the account number, and I'll direct deposit it, and this will never happen. And no, that's not going to work, and we can't do that. You owe me all this money. And then she's going to go to court and make me pay all the other money from the divorce that I already took over $20-something thousand in debt that I have to pay back in 18 months. And then if I don't pay all that back, I got another $6,000 I gotta pay as far as back child support. So now she's trying to say I'm gonna have to pay all that back. And then she just gets on my face about it. And I'm like, what? Why are you so mad right now? Like, is it because I called you this late? It just completely got out of hand. And then just the whole pointing and it just all went bad. It just so fast. She just went from 0 to 100, and I'm trying to understand, like, what just happened. Like, you were just here earlier. Everything was fine. You left. I only called you because Faith wanted you, and now we're arguing about something that I'm sitting here thinking this is unbelievably trivial, and this can be fixed. I can fix this by the 1st. Just give me time, and I'll make sure you get the money, or I'll make it in 2 separate payments, or whatever you need me to do, and it's just not good. It's not going to work. None of this works. So then, we leave Faith on the couch, and she eventually falls asleep anyway, but she's still, like, arguing with me over in the foyer area. And I'm just like, please just leave then. Just go. No, I'm not leaving until we fix this. Like, just get out. Like, I don't know what you want from me, Trisha. I don't have any money for you. I don't have any cash for you. I can't give you anything right now. I spent the little money I had, which is why I drove here just to see Faith. That's why I didn't fly. I didn't get a rental car like I normally do. I'm not in a hotel. Well, I didn't want to do the hotel thing, but I don't have money. Like, I paid so much money to the debt that I don't have any more money, okay? I just don't. I am, like, pretty much strapped when it comes to cash. Living paycheck to paycheck, and even then, I'm not making it right now. And it doesn't matter. You owe me money. You need to pay your debts. This is always your fault. You're always spending more money, and it's just on and on and on to the point where now I'm just trying to, like, walk away. And now I can't walk away because you're circling me and, like, you're jumping in front of my face, and it just got so aggressive, and I'm just trying to back away and de-escalate, and I can't even leave the house now. I don't want to push you. I don't want to touch you. I don't want anything with you because I'm just thinking about flashbacks of before, when you just blew all this shit up for no reason, and then now I'm getting arrested, but only after the fact did you go and, say that it wasn't my fault. No one else knows that now, but only after the fact that I got arrested. All I'm thinking, just flashbacks. So I go to push her away, and then she gets really pissed about that, and then she gets even more aggressive and in my face and pushing me back, and I'm like, would you please just stop? Like, I don't want this. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why you're so mad. I don't know if you took a freaking crazy pill on the way over here, and that really pissed her off. And it just escalated. And then I just moved her away, and then she slipped. And that's when she freaking fell. And I'm like, oh shit. I asked her if she was okay. It was like a weird sound. She didn't say anything, though. And then I freaking panicked. And then I just freaking panicked. Because I didn't try to hurt you. I just wanted you to stop being here in my face yelling at me as I'm trying to back away. I'm trying to de-escalate. I don't want, whatever this is, it's not this serious. I don't know why it's so serious about this money. It's always been so, like, even throughout the divorce, every penny has just been so serious about her trying to get every dollar.
Right.
And I'm like, and now I made a mistake and I sent the check to the wrong address because I didn't know that wasn't a mailing address. And I can't explain where it is because I didn't even get it back in the mail until a week after that. And it just went so fast. And then I pushed her, and I didn't push. I was just trying to get her away. Just please stop yelling in my face. It's like, just, like if she was at that distance, fine, but she wasn't. She's just
right
here the whole time. And I'm like, please, just stop. And so I went to move her away, and she slipped, and she hit her head. And I didn't mean for that. That wasn't my freaking fault. I wasn't. And then all I'm thinking is, great, now I've pushed her and she's hurt her head and I'm done. I'm just, everything I've tried to do, everything I've tried to be is done because I made a mistake. I didn't really even lose my cool. I just tried to move you away. I didn't want you to hurt yourself.
Sorry.
Stephen, shedding insincere tears, claims that on the night of the incident, Trisha confronted him about overdue child support payments. He insists he didn't want to argue, so he pushed her aside to leave. According to Stephen, this push caused her to fall, leading to her death. While this marks a significant breakthrough with his confession, the investigators still need to determine whether her death was truly an accident. The key to uncovering the full truth lies in locating Trisha's body.
I just tried to de-escalate the situation because I couldn't get out. I didn't know where to go. I couldn't even just leave. Like, all I wanted to do was just leave. I just wanted nothing to do with that.
Do you know what she hit her head on? Was it the floor or?
I don't know. She just fell, and then she wasn't responsive after that, and I didn't know what the hell to do. You know, I thought if I call the police now, they're going to say I freaking pushed her, and I'm going to jail.
So what did you do next?
I just tried to wake her. I tried to snap her out of it, and it just kept getting worse. She just wasn't responding. She made weird breathing sounds, and I'm thinking, oh shit, I'm going to jail. Like, I'm going to jail for killing this woman that I never wanted to hurt. Never.
And I don't think you did.
I never wanted her to be hurt. I never wished ill on her. I tried to always do right by her, no matter what the situation. I just tried to do the right thing. And all I'm saying is I'm going to jail for trying not to hurt you.
And that's exactly why I wanted you to tell me.
I just wanted it to stop. I wanted it to go away. I just wanted to just go back.
Okay. And that, I believe you. I believe everything that you just told me. Okay, Stephen?
Doesn't even matter.
It does. It makes a huge difference, because that's what we need to do. We need to get to the truth about what happened. Now you know the next question I'm going to ask you. Okay? And I know you don't want to, but we need to know where Trisha is.
I don't know, and I really don't have a freaking clue where that was. I just panicked, and I just drove.
And I went
through a million and one scenarios in my head of what to do, and none of them were good. All of them just ended bad. And I didn't pay attention to anything. I just drove, and as I drove, I didn't read any signs. I just drove, and I just tried to think of how to fix it, and I couldn't fix it, and it was just bad all around, and I'm just like, no matter what, I'm screwed. Like, I am screwed no matter what. I can't go back. I can't go to the hospital now. If I do, how does that look? I don't even know what to do at this point. I'm just freaking out because I just didn't want any of this. I didn't want anything to do with any of that. I want to be a good dad.
I get it. I understand.
As the questioning continues, Stephen claims he has no idea where he left Trisha's body, doing everything he can to avoid giving clear answers. He knows that once the body is found, it could mean life in prison for him. Trying to paint himself in a better light, Stephen even tells the detectives that Trisha looked calm and peaceful as he left her body in the woods.
Here's what I need. We have so many people are looking for her and want to know where she is. Okay. Will you continue to work with us to try to figure out where she is? You will?
No.
I know you don't think you know. But I need you to give us an honest effort to try to remember.
It was just dark. And it was a dirt road.
So you drove for a while.
It was just dark.
Hold on, Steve. Let me just talk through this a little bit, okay? So you drove for a while you were thinking. Did you turn anywhere?
No, Dave. And I just took her out, and she just looked peaceful and sweet, like what I remember her. You know, the way I would like to remember her. Why don't I ever talk bad about her? I'd feel that, not like love, but I care about her.
You had a life with this person.
I was married 11 years to her. Of course I still care
about her. But you created a life with this person. You're always going to have some peace together. I get that. No matter what else happens, the money and all that other stuff.
Just didn't want it.
And that's why we need to...
She just looked peaceful.
We need to do everything that we can to bring her home now. I know what happened. I know, and that's done. It's in the past, and that's what I want. And I told you in the beginning, I want to talk about the future with you. We're done talking about the past. We know what happened in the past. We need to get beyond that.
I don't even know where I left her.
Did you?
I didn't even try to cover her up. I just laid her down.
So
I was hoping beyond belief that she would be okay. I just
well, you knew she was peaceful. You knew she was at peace at that time. I mean, I know you were hoping. I know you're hoping, but you knew that it was not the case. And it's horrible and it's unfortunate. But like you said, and that's just what happened. And bad things happen. But
the truth eventually emerged, revealing Stephen as a calculated and cold-blooded killer. It was discovered that the crime had been meticulously premeditated. Stephen had purchased a chainsaw and acid, and had already selected a burial site, digging a whole well in advance. On April 26th, he spent the day working up the nerve to murder Trisha. After she dropped off their daughter, Faith, at his hotel, Stephen called and asked her to return. When Trisha arrived, Stephen knocked her unconscious. She later awoke to find him going through her emails, attempting to send a message to her contacts, claiming she was leaving. As she screamed at him in panic, Stephen knocked her out again, this time, fatally. He then placed her body in her car but realized it was out of gas. His search for fuel led to his appearance on multiple surveillance cameras. After refueling, Stephen drove to the burial site, where he used the chainsaw to dismember her body, ensuring it would fit in the hole with the acid. He then covered it up and left the scene.
The truth? The truth? Because the truth is what? That you didn't mean for this to happen, but it did.
Never.
And that are you sorry? Are you sorry that it happened?
Of course I am.
Of course you are.
Holy crap! I wish I could have found another way to de-escalate it, but she just wouldn't let it go. She just kept pushing the issue about money, and
I know.
And all the thing is, I don't have any money anyway. Like, just wait till the first. I'll fix it. You know, just I don't know why it's such a big deal.
I know.
Didn't even make sense.
And this is going to be a lot of weight, and has been a lot of weight. I mean, you carried a lot of this for so long now, for weeks, and that's more than anybody can really take. And I can tell you that getting this off your chest and writing an apology to these people saying you're sorry that it happened this way, that you did not mean for it to happen this way, and although it did happen, that you're truly sorry, I think that's going to help lift a lot of weight. Is that something that you'd like to do?
I don't feel like a sorry means anything to anybody.
You'd be surprised.
What's the point of a sorry?
You'd be surprised. People want to know that.
In exchange for a 35-year sentence, Stephen led authorities to Trisha's body. However, 35 years is far too lenient for such a brutal crime. A man capable of taking a life in this manner, without any remorse, is someone who could easily do it again. While the court sought to bring some closure to Trisha's family by returning her remains, it came at the cost of releasing a cold-blooded killer back into society by 2050. If you found this video informative, please consider subscribing. It's free and helps us out a lot. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.